We are going to talk Suicide Squad. Well, I am going to talk Suicide Squad on this beautiful day because, yeah, I've been really wanting to talk about it, and I am going to go into spoilers for Suicide Squad. So, yeah, buckle up. I think I love this movie. I'm kind of apprehensive about saying loved, and for any movie nowadays, I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to say I love that movie, but I think I love this movie. I mean, the Suicide Squad, it was so good. It was so good. And I think James Gunn did a terrific job with this. Yeah, overall, the whole cast: Idris Elba, Margot Robbie, John Cena, David Dismountian, who played Ratcatcher. I forgot her name. Melchior. I think her name is Melchior. I kind of forget. It started out violent in like the first 10 or 15 minutes. It just started out, yeah, we're going to go there and we are going to kill off these characters in Suicide Squad. And I had a feeling that a lot of these characters were going to get killed off, and especially the ones that they killed off first. I already had a feeling that most of them were going to be killed off because we saw in the trailer the ones walking in front of the American flag in the trailer. Yeah, I knew most of them were going to get killed off. Even Captain Boomerang, because we didn't see him or any of those characters in other parts of the movie where we saw, like, I don't know, Rick Flag and Bloodsport and Polka Dot Man and Harley Quinn and King Shark and Ratcatcher. Like, they were the main group. I might be forgetting somebody. Oh yeah, Peacemaker, of course, John Cena. But yeah, those were the main group. And when I saw them, I knew, okay, at least some of them are probably gonna be still alive. But yeah, first off, starting with Pete Davidson, it was like kind of like sold him out, and he's like, I brought him here, like, don't hurt me, and then he gets shot in the face, and he's like, it was like face gets blown off, and then they all go out like that. I mean, we see like Flu LeBorg plays Javelin. Like, I mean, he has a javelin, of course, that Harley Quinn takes over. Like, we see him go out. We see Nathan Fillion go out, like, after detaching his arms. I mean, that was cool. And then, of course, Captain Boomerang, who I think a lot of people were kind of shocked by it, but I wasn't really, as I said, I wasn't really shocked by it, but it's kind of like, you still feel something because he was from the previous movie, and he gets killed off in the first 10 or 15 minutes in this one. What was the orange one? Like the character that jumped on the helicopter. I forgot her name for some reason. Oh man, what was her name? Mongal, I think it was her name. But yeah, she goes out and like just taking out the helicopter. I don't know who else was there. Oh no, yeah. What's his name? Michael Rucker played. What's his name? The one that killed the bird in opening the movie. I was like, yeah. Why would you do that? Why would you do it? I mean, I know you're probably a mean-spirited dude, but yeah, I forgot his name for some reason. I'll probably put it down in the video, but yeah, he is pretty much the most sense of everybody there. He's scared shitless. He's like, I'm gonna get out of here, but I'm like, are you gonna get out of there, dude? Like, you're gonna swim? And of course, and they're gonna blow up his head anyways. And Amanda Waller's like, yep. Blow up his head, of course, and he's the only one who gets his head blown up, and then we see like a bird like going, like just eating what's left over in his head. Oh yeah, Weasel. I forgot about Weasel. Yeah, that was hilarious when we find out he like can't swim. He jumps out of the helicopter or wherever they're on. I think it's like a plane, helicopter. I don't know what it is, but he jumps out of it, and like Rick Flag is saying, or like, how come no one told me he can't swim, or something like that. That was funny as hell. And then of course Michael Rooker's character says he's dead, and everyone's like, he's dead, and then he comes back at the end of the movie and he's like alive, and I'm like, okay, cool, he's alive. That camp where all like the freedom fighters are like camping, I guess, and it's where Rick Flag is, and of course they go in thinking they're saving Rick Flag, and they take out all the freedom fighters. And that was such a funny scene in the movie because we see Peacemaker and Bloodsport go through and just like pretty much slaughter everybody. It's like crazy, and they're like trying to one up each other, and so it's like one after one they're just killing people. And then they get to the tent where Rick Flag and Alice Braga, I think her name is, but that's where they feel these are the freedom fighters. And yeah, they killed everybody, or not everybody, but a lot of people that were there. And it was like, wow. Of course, we saw Polka Dot Man in action take it down like a couple of the fighters too. It was funny. It was funny. It was an action packed. It showed off what Peacemaker and Bloodsport could do. But I mentioned Harley Quinn. Of course, Harley Quinn. I mean, I think she was the best. Margot Robbie played her the best. Out of any, I guess the two other movies, of course, Birds of Prey and Suicide Squad. I like Birds of Prey. I like her in Birds of Prey and Suicide Squad. But I think she was just the best here. She was written the best. And I mean, the scenes she was in where she was with it was like the president of the country, Luna, and she was like fantasizing about I guess marrying him and stuff. And then of course she shoots him because he wants to murder children, and that's a red flag to her, even though there's probably a bunch of other red flags, but it just came down to that. And then Harley Quinn was like, it's a red flag that I gotta murder you. And that was funny. I mean, that's straight up. I mean, you see the morals of Harley Quinn, that they're kind of good, but they're also kind of screwy at the same time. But her just kind of monologuing to him while he's just dying on the floor. And then she has a big action scene, which was so freaking cool. That was man, Harley Quinn action scene. That was awesome. I mean, that's definitely, I mean, there's a lot of good scenes in the movie. That's probably one of the best in the movie. And I freaking loved it. I mean, I love the artistry of it too, where they make it so colorful at the end of it. And it's just awesome to see. And then fast forward to when they go to Yodadine, where they have Starro. And of course they're taking the Thinker there, or they're making the Thinker take them there. And the scene right before that, where they're about to go in the building, where they take out all those troops right there. And we see King Shark. I mean, King Shark just rips that guy in half. That was crazy. I mean, you think he's gonna try to eat him, but then he just rips him in half. That was that was bonkers. And then we see Peacemaker just take guys out. I mean, that was cool. I mean, everything leading up with that was great visually. We see the Thinker. I mean, the Thinker's in there, and he reveals a lot of stuff the U.S. government was involved. I mean, that was a big twist. The one scene I didn't see coming was Peacemaker and Rick Flag throwing it down. I mean, they got into a fight, and it's cool because they're both fighting over morals. I mean, they were cool with each other throughout the most of the movie, but once it came down to that drive, Peacemaker was like, I got to do my job. Amanda Waller sent me to do this. And Rick Flag says, no, I got morals. I got I don't like this, and I want to get the truth out there. And we see him throw down, and we see Rick Flag bite it. Peacemaker killing Rick Flag is something, definitely was not expected for me in this movie. But that was a cool scene. And Rick Flag's death is probably the most heartfelt, because he was trying to do the right thing and trying to take out, trying to stop Peacemaker from taking the drive back to Amanda Waller. And that was it was grueling. It was a grueling scene. And I thought, man, damn it, Rick Flag. They did Rick Flag so good in this movie. I mean, he was a character you didn't really care about in the first Suicide Squad. And I thought Joel Kinnaman, I mean, he was fine in the first movie, but I think in this movie, he just played him so much better. I think it was written better. And of course, after that, we see Ratcatcher 2 sees Peacemaker kill Rick Flag. And then she goes off, Peacemaker catches up to her. And then we see John Cena crash through, I don't know, I saw a scene, I was like, damn, he's getting so lucky. And then he lands right there where he sees Peacemaker have a gun right at Ratcatcher. And then they have that shot against each other, and we see the bullet from Bloodsport go right through the bullet from Peacemaker, and it takes out Peacemaker, but not officially, of course, because we think he's dead. Of course, he comes back in the after credits. But I love where Idris Elba, or Bloodsport, was I got smaller bullets, mate, because it calls back to where John Cena says he uses smaller bullets that go faster and rip through the bigger bullets. So that was a nice kind of callback to earlier in the movie. When we see Peacemaker, John Cena go out, and then we think he's gonna die right there. And we're like, oh, I guess the Peacemaker show is gonna be a prequel. And then they show the after credits where he's actually alive after getting shot through the neck. And then of course not get killed by the rubble that probably almost landed on him. So it will be a sequel, and That's kind of interesting because like we kind of feel that Peacemaker is kind of a bad guy in this movie after that. I mean, they're all kind of bad guys, but he's kind of the one we're kind of going against because he kills Rick Flag. But I think Peacemaker is kind of like, I don't know, I feel like Peacemaker, I still like him because I feel like his like morals are more following orders, and that's what he's wanting to do. And I think he's just trying to follow Amanda Waller's orders. So I think he falls in line and following orders, whether it's kind of good or kind of bad, I guess. I feel like in the show, his orders are going to be different. Like it's going to appeal more maybe to the good side, maybe. I don't know. I mean, it'll probably be somewhat dirty, of course, as well, because that's what we got to see from Peacemaker. But I feel like it'll be different from like the movie here. So yeah, so I'm interested to see that. It's going to be like that. Yeah, I don't know. I'll definitely watch it. We'll see what happens with that show. Also, one funny scene when they're in Yoda 9 was when like the dude Milton died. He gets shot up, and everyone's or I think it was like Idris Elba, Bloodsport, and Harley Quinn were like, "Who's Milton?" And Polka Dot Man was like, "Milton's been with us the entire time." And so Bloodsport's like, "What was he gonna do?" And Harley Quinn's like, "Still, who's Milton?" So I thought that was a funny scene. I thought it was like, okay, just like a regular dude going with the Suicide Squad. But yeah, I thought that was funny. And then of course we saw King Shark and Manu, or what's his name? I always forget his name. But he's in that like aquarium place, or where there's like these weird fish. I think it's like intergalactic fish or something like that. I don't know, intergalactic jellyfish. I'm not sure. I don't know if it's a DC thing. But yeah, but he's like, I mean, that shows where he's kind of lonely. He wants to be friends with these fish, and then when everything like it blows up and the fish come out, they start biting the hell out of him. I thought that was funny too. I mean, yeah, King Shark, like we had all the feels with him because he was like, yeah, we thought he was cute. They made a shark cute. It's like Marvel can make an alligator adorable, DC can make a shark adorable. So yeah, so I thought King Shark was like a heartfelt character in this movie because like, yeah, he was lonely, he wanted friends, and he got friends, yeah. And then we see Starro make it out and start destroying that city right there. What was it called again? I forgot what it's called. I actually thought it was a real name of a city, but it's actually fictional DC city. So I guess, I don't know. Like, I guess I'm that dumb. But man, we go to Polka Dot Man. I mean, man, Polka Dot Man almost made it out of this thing. Like, he was one of the characters I wanted to have live in this movie. I mean, it sucked. That sucked because I think David Dismalchian played him so good in the movie. He's been in so many comic book movies like The Dark Knight and Ant-Man, and he's been in The Flash. But he was so good as Polka Dot Man. And of course, he's like seeing his mother as all the characters in the movie. That was funny as well. Even as Starro, that was like, what the hell? And we see where that final scene with him, where he's like, I'm a superhero, and he's feeling good about himself. And he's like, I'm a superhero. And we go to that shot where, yeah, as soon as they showed that shot, like that wide shot, I knew that something was going to come down, whether it was building or Starro's foot, and it was Starro's foot. And it was like, no. I was like, damn it, man. Like, Polka Dot Man almost made it out. That should not have happened. Damn you, James Gunn, for making a really great movie, but doing that right there. But at least he went out feeling good for himself, and I was like, man, why? But we see Ratcatcher 2 send out all the rats to take out Starro. That was cool. And we get like a nice visual of Harley Quinn jumping in the eye of Starro with the spear of Javelin. And we see the rats in there as well. I thought that was like, okay, that was cool as well. And then we go to like that flashback scene where we see Taika Waititi playing the father of Ratcatcher 2. And I thought, yeah, him explaining that rats are like, I guess like, I probably said about rats. He said something about rats, but just to see that scene with Taika Waititi, I thought that was cool, and it was just a very heartfelt moment. And Ratcatcher 2, she was the heart of the film pretty much. I thought she was great. I thought the actress that played her was great. I feel like I forget her name. I had to look up her name. Daniela Melchior. Probably saying that wrong, but she did a fantastic job. I think she was one of like the unknown actors in the movie. I thought she knocked out of the park with her role as Ratcatcher 2. And Overall, the whole cast did a great job. Even the ones that got killed off early in the movie. I just got what I expected from this movie and was not let down at all. And I think for me, it might be my favorite DCEU movie. If it's part of the DCU or if they're still calling this the DCEU. I love the movie and I would probably give it a 9.3 out of 10. I mean, I feel like going 9 out of 10 is too low, but going 9.5 might be too high, but I don't know. Yeah, 9.3 sounds good. You can tell me what you thought about the movie as well in the comments below. Did you love the movie as much as me? Tell me your thoughts down below. And how would you rank this movie as far as the DCU? Because I would put it to the top. It's number 1 in my book, even above Wonder Woman. And so, yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it. And you can stay tuned for more of movie talk on this channel and gaming and all that. And yeah, until next time, I'll see y'all later. Reindeer out.